Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Fairfield County Tableau User Group's first quarterly event of this year. Just like we did it last year, this is also a hybrid event where we have a few people who have joined me in this room here. And then we also have a lot of people joining in virtually. So thank you to all of you for taking the time and attending this session on a Friday evening. Really appreciate it. All right, so I would like to go over the agenda that we have for today. And as you can see, there are a lot of good topics and very key Tableau related topics that we are looking to cover today. So we'll start with giving you a quick introduction to our Tableau user group leadership team for Fairfield County. The entire leadership team, we work very closely with each other, and we ensure that the content that we are able to share with you all here during these events is of a great quality. So we will give a quick introduction of all the team members involved there. The second thing that we would like to cover, and this is a hot topic because last time when we met, a lot of you asked us to include a few topics in our subsequent sessions, and Tableau Write Back was one of those topics as well. So we discussed with our guest speakers, Avirat Gaikwad and Prachi Ashtunkar, since they had built this functionality, Tableau's write back functionality for one of their internal projects. They were willing to share the approach that they used here. What was the problem statement they were looking to solve? And how did they implement this functionality? What are some of the key considerations for all of us to keep it in mind when we have to implement a similar functionality using Tableau? So they will do a demo of this functionality for us. Then next up, we have Adam, where he will be covering Tableau Conference 2023 updates. So it's a conference coming up in a few weeks' time. It will be in Las Vegas, but you can also attend it virtually. So Adam will share some of the key session details with us here so we can be better prepared to attend this session, either virtually or in person. Then Kathy will cover this new events platform that Tableau has recently launched. So up until now, we have been using Splash and Zoom to host these events, but going forward, we will be using Bevy as the new events platform. So Kathy will cover some details for all of you to be aware of. Then one of the highlights of these events, trivia quiz. So Mohnish will cover trivia quiz for all of us, which will include some exciting questions. And the faster you answer those questions, the better it is, because you will get the scores, the higher scores for answering it quickly. And one thing to note here is that some of the topics that we are covering before this trivia quiz, we have included some questions from those topics. So please focus on those sessions so you can definitely answer those questions in trivia quiz correctly. Then towards the end, we'll wrap up with a networking session, which will again be a hybrid. So for the people who are here with me in this room, we will meet, we will discuss some Tableau related items, some topics, some questions, and things like that. And then on the virtual side of things also, Adam and Maria will be able to join you all for a breakout session. So if you have any questions that you want to ask them, if you want to share your own experiences, you can do all that in that networking session. Right. So with that, let me quickly introduce you to our Tableau user group Fairfield County leadership team. So I'm Mohnish Swaroop. I'm a delivery director from Slalom Consulting Company. I have been using Tableau for 7 to 8 years now, and I'm extremely passionate about what Tableau offers in terms of the data and visualization and analytics capabilities. Next up with me is Kathy Shi. Kathy Shi is known as the Tableau rockstar because of her in-depth Tableau knowledge. She has been leading this Tableau user group community since end of 2020. So more than 2 years. And we also have Monisha Jan with us today. She has been leading this community as well for more than a year now. And before joining this team or the community, she participated in one of the data viz competition that we had conducted back in 2021, and she was actually the winner of that competition. After that, she decided to join Slalom as a full-time employee, and she also got involved with this Tableau user group community. So excited to have Mohnish as well on this team. Adam Ware has been a key member of this Tableau user group leadership team, and he runs his own analytics company. He has been using Tableau for many, many years now, and he helps us in putting together a lot of great materials and content that we are able to showcase in front of you today and in our previous sessions as well. Then we also have Maria Wofford. She has been a key member of this Tableau user group community since more than 3 years, I would say. She handles our social media posts and has a lot of experience in Tableau as well. So thank you to the entire leadership team for making sure that we are able to conduct these quarterly meetings and showcase Tableau's capabilities and share some insights with like-minded people who are attending this session today. All right. With that, the next topic that we have to cover here is Tableau's write back functionality. And as I said, we have a couple of guest speakers, Prachi Ashtunkar and Avirat Gaikwad, who will be walking us through what is this functionality that they have built. Avi, you want to take it over?
Thank you, Mohnish, for the introduction, and thank you to the Tableau user group for inviting us to present our solution. This solution was worked as a part of our Slalom WesCo market in the DNA team. And we have me, Avi Gaikwad, and Prachi Ashtunkar, who will present the solution today. Moving on to the next slide, I'll walk you through the business case of what the architecture looked like at the back end. And then we'll go through the end reporting that was generated in Tableau. Once all of that is done, we'll also walk you through the Tableau write-back feature that we developed and then go into some use cases to show how the write-back actually works. And Prachi will walk you through the stored function that was created for it. To start off, the business case was that a major grocery chain is looking to expand its footprint in Fairfield County. We selected a grocery chain and Fairfield County just because that's what we were comfortable with, but you can change this to any kind of retail store experience and any county within the United States. The workflow in Alteryx has been developed to be interactive so that you can change that ad hoc whenever you're running the workflow. The project involves using spatial analytics tools for site selection, and then we add demographic data and real estate data to kind of add more context to our site selection. All right, from left to right, we start off with the data sources. We've used the Azure Maps API to kind of extract the information of supermarkets in the area, which is Fairfield County, but you could use Google Maps platform as well. We've also used City of Stamford data for real estate and the housing data from the government's website for housing and demographic. And once all of that is done, we kind of get Excel files as well as once we get API calls, we get JSON data, which is cleaned up. The Excel files are loaded into Azure SQL using Data Factory. We do a lot of data engineering using Alteryx and Python. So in Python, we have a fuzzy matching logic that's built in. And in order to verify the fuzzy matching logic, we write it out into a SQL database, and that's where Tableau comes into play. Tableau acts as a user or manual review element where any end user can check if the fuzzy matching logic did its job because the accuracy is 75%, or approximately 75%. Once the user actually decides that the accuracy looks good enough and he is satisfied with the output, we can run the second workflow, which is also in Alteryx, and create the final output for Tableau. So I'll show you the Tableau reports and then we can dive into the write back feature. All right, and Prachi will pull in the Tableau desktop.
Loading.
Yeah, some technical difficulties on this end. All right. So on the Tableau page, we have two different dashboards. We start off by telling the person or the client about the optimal site that was decided based on all the data engineering steps plus the strategy steps that were handled in Aldrich. So Norwalk here is the best site to open a new a grocery store or a supermarket. As you can see on the right, we have recommended sites and potential zip codes. So we went through 46 zip codes and we found one site that would be the best location for your retail store. We have two filters here, considering competitors and available real estate. Considering competition is basically for somebody like a Walmart who doesn't really care if there's a Trader Joe's or a Stop and Shop in the area. They just want to expand their footprint. So that's a strategy step that we've implemented where you could do, yes, we want to consider competition, or no, we don't want to. Also, we've added real estate data. For example, if you decide to open a real estate store, a retail store within the next 1 year, you want to look at real estate that's available in the area. So we've provided that option as well. Prachi, if you can do yes and yes to both. As you can see, if we do yes, we want to consider competition and we want to look at real estate as well. The final site kind of changes to Monroe because we have a site available in Monroe and you can see the details below. So for you as a client, if you decide that you want to make a move right now, you have all the elements that you need to move forward on opening or on expanding your footprint. In the same lines, if you want to not consider competition, we can remove that filter. You get a different location, Stamford. We don't have any real estate available in Stamford right now, but you can see that that would be the best site if you don't want to consider competition. There's also the ability to perform your own analysis and give power to the end user. So we provided all the metrics that we looked at, like housing, supermarket population. So you can play around with your own metrics and come to your own conclusion. For example, you want to take a look at an area where the supermarket is less than 30 within the area. Yeah, you can reduce the higher limit actually. There you go. Well, we haven't changed the analysis that much, but you can play around with it and you'll hopefully get a new answer when you change those. Oh yeah, there you go. So now Westport is the lowest area with less than 26 supermarkets. So if that's something that you want to consider, you can look at that here. The map shows you all the locations in the Fairfield County that we begin with, and as you filter it out, you'll get to that final one location. So that's about it on the two final reports that we've created. And now I'll pass it over to Prachi to walk you through the write back feature. Thanks.
All right. Thanks, Avi. So let me go back and show you start with showing you the Tableau write back dashboard, how it looks like, and then I will get into how we have built it. Okay. So to the look and feel of so the basically how we explained we wanted to give user the ability to come on the Tableau and make changes to the underlying data. For example, if you can see on the dashboard, we have a city, store name, and a match store name associated with that. So what Avi was mentioning, uh, we have a Python script that runs and generates this match store names according to that city and matches it with like whether it should be whether it's an actual store in that city or not, right? So of that, like the result of that those query is like stored in a Azure database. And when we observed, there were like few examples that even after fuzzy matching logic, even after that logic, there were like few stores which were not getting generated properly. And we thought like it will be a good idea and new exploration on Tableau that we can give user or tell the user that you can actually come in here, update that store name, and proceed further with your analysis. Okay, so this is the dashboard where the user will come in. There are certain instructions like you can select the city. These are all the filters. For example, I want to do analysis around, let's just say Stanford. So I'll just like come here. I am going to select Stanford. Uh, there's another filter which is like is a match. It's basically a calculated feed within Tableau which says like if actual store name is equals to match store name or not. If it is equal, then it's going to say true, otherwise it's going to say false. So I'm going to select false because we are going to we want to like update the false records. Now there could be like two examples of this. So one example I want to take is um Star Grocery and Stop One Grocery. So I actually googled it. Stanford does have a Star Grocery store and does not have a Stop One. And actually, logically, it doesn't even make sense. But the another example, so this is definitely a false record which we can update in the DB. But there's another record which is super Stop and Shop, and our fuzzy matching logic generated it as like Stop and Shop, which makes sense. Like usually Stop and Shop stores are called as Stop and Shop stores. Some other examples could be Stanford Supermarket and D&M Supermarket. That makes sense. Or a Whole Foods, for example. So, in order to update, what you are going to do is you once you select false, once you select a city you want to update, you are going to come on this table and click. As soon as you click anywhere on this table or any row, if you see here update your store name, it's going to update your store ID here and the match store name that you want to update. So for example, if I click on this row, it's going to update my store ID to this one and supermarket to this one. So I also googled, there's no ways market in Stanford, it's market 76. So I'm going to update this row, and at the same time I'll show you in the database also that that row got updated. So let's hope that I don't make any typos here. Market 76. As soon as I'm going to submit it, it's going to disappear from this because I have selected false, and it's going to update in the backend table that this market is updated to market 76, and it's going to show me that what row and what things I have updated here. So before I update it, I want to show you the table. Let me pull in the store ID. I'm going to copy it here, and if you see, it's very slow.
Before waiting on the query result, I have a question.
Sure.
For the Tableau dashboard, if you go back to the dashboard where you have that write back function,
Yeah.
why we include the store ID as well? Does that mean we also can change the store ID?
No. So that actions you can set, which I'll walk you through later on how we can like set up those actions. The store ID is a unique identifier for each row. And that's why we wanted to keep it here that, okay, this store ID is getting updated. But the action that I have put here, that what will get updated is just this match store ID name.
Got it.
Right? So even if I like make the change to the store ID, it will not get updated because in the backend stored procedure, the only thing that is defined that will get updated is this match store name. Right? Okay. So yeah. So if you see here, you can see the records for the store ID. And I'm not sure why we are seeing two. All right. So you see the POI name is actually actual store name, and the fuzzy match name is actually the match store name, and the store ID is record here. So you see, it's a market 76 and West markets. So I'm going to change it to market 76. Submit that. Okay. Guess things are moving slightly slow today somehow.
That's it.
Is it gone?
Yeah.
Okay. And if you see here, that if I come back to this record and see, query is still running, we'll see that updated name. So market 76, the name is updated to market 76. Okay. Just to show you another example, I'm going to pick this one, Star Grocery. So if I selected this one, it's automatically updated here. And Star Grocery, spellings are right. I'm going to pick this store ID. Copy, run. Right. The fuzzy match name is this, and then submit. Yeah. So as soon as you submit the result, it's going to show you like you have made changes to this store ID. My store name is updated from your previous name to your new name, right? And so this is your result of your action. Once you go back and click on your table again, that result is going to disappear, so that once you make a submission, it's going to show you the new results. Okay, so now how this all things work is, so there are like multiple ways to do this, like Tableau write back. There are we can use extensions. If you're using Excel, Excel is pretty easy. You can directly do the updates directly in the Excel. But for our learning purposes and for discovery, we decided to use stored procedure. So there is basically a stored procedure written on the Azure database for that table, which I can show you here, and I can walk you through that stored procedure, how it is written. And that helps us generate this result, uh, make this store name, match store name updates directly to the database. Okay. So this is the stored procedure. So it's the syntax of the stored procedure differs from like different database to database. This is Azure, so this is how the syntax is. But the logic remains more or less same. So first you start by creating a stored procedure and defining all the parameters. So these are all the parameters you are going to define in your stored procedure, as well as create these parameters in your Tableau, right? So I'll walk you through those parameters in some time, but let's go through the stored procedure first. Then you state like, okay, that stored procedure has like, let's start it. After that, you declare a few uh, parameters, or the few parameters, and assign the values. Like for if you see, this old fuzzy match name is getting assigned the value of the new fuzzy, the actual existing fuzzy match name. For example, when I was in this table and I selected this, the shop right is will become the old fuzzy match name, and the whatever the new entry I'll add will become the new fuzzy match name. So, these are the two parameters. You're giving the values to them. These are basically used to generate this result at the bottom, if on the screen, right? Uh, then comes your logic. So now this parameter, whenever this run parameter is 1, this logic is going to get executed. If you see, I say that update this table and set fuzzy match name is equals to fuzzy match name and record equals to record, wherever we have two records are similar. And whenever run will be equal to 1, this will get executed and this result will get executed. Whenever run is 0, it will just show it as a blank. So that's what we saw on the Tableau screen or the dashboard, that whenever we do this submit, whenever I click on this button, this has like a action parameter, and it sets that action parameter sets the value of run equals to 1, and then you get the result, and this value gets written in the database. So that's the stored procedure. And then there are some action parameters that we define, which I'll walk you through right now. All right. So if run is equals to 1, this will get executed. If run equals to 0, this part will get executed. Now, how that run becomes 1 and 0, that I'll show you now. Okay. So that run is also a parameter here, update run in the Tableau. Now, now there are a lot of parameter actions that are assigned on this worksheet, right? So we saw a lot of things like you go and click on that table and that it gives you like updated record and like updated match store name. And once you click on that button, it updates the table. So behind that, there are action parameters which are leading to update your table. So for example, which one should I talk about? Let's just talk about like how you click on that table, and it basically once I go on this table, if I click on this, it updates this store ID and match store name, right? So if I go to actions, so these are my parameter actions here. So what happens is, I just said that, okay, this is my action. This is my action is going to be click on local name. It's going to apply across the worksheet. The the target parameter is update fuzzy match name. Wherever I click, if I click on local name, it's going to go to that match store name and update that store name there, that fuzzy match store name there, right? The source field is going to be city. I mean, like, that's how it is. And the run action is like select. You have to go and select it. That's how the action is going to take place. It's the same thing for POI name, which is actually actual store name for us. Match record, because we want to like go on that table and able to like give, just not like go at one particular place and click it. So next thing is, once you click on that table on any record, you will find your record ID and your store name, right? Then you go to your button. I'm going to go to that sheet just to show that there's literally just one button here. Just one figure here. And then you have added like, then I have added like details, like these parameter details, and these are basically value 1 and value 0 are the calculated fields. There's nothing in those calculated fields. It's just value, literally value 0 and 1. Let me show you that it's 0. So yeah, so that's the thing. So but the action actually indicates that once you click on that button, it's going to assign, once you assign the value 1 to the run parameter. That's how that value 1 is assigned to inside the stored procedure. And when run equals to 1, that part takes place, right? And similarly, whenever let me see where it is. Yeah, set value 1. So it's assigned to button update run and it's value 1. Similarly, because we want to revert that thing, because we want to like show on that result pane it's blank, you just like go to that update name, basically this table here, assign update whenever you update run, just assign value 0 and that's it. Then as soon as, so that's how it's like when once you click it, it's going to show you the result. Once you go back to your table, it's going to go blank. And it's basically like the same, the result pane doesn't have nothing, it's just has result as a tooltip. Yeah. Okay. So that's how the technicalities of this takes place. I don't know about the time. I think I'm about time. Okay. So I'm going to open it for questions if we have any questions for this. And yeah.
Anyone on the phone who has any questions?
Yeah, I haven't seen if there are any hand raises or in chat. No.
Just a comment. This was great. Thank you very much for the overview. And I asked my earlier question because I thought it was germane to what we were discussing right then, because the result coming up is useful to know that it's from the actual query. It's not like you're sort of doing it in Tableau and it could be, oh,
Yeah.
Tableau's saying it's fine, it's fine. It's an actual query coming back saying, yeah, you really did this. So that's really useful. And it was good, you know, in a way, just like all live demos from Microsoft to even in years past, and other companies that have issues with their demos. We actually learned something from this one in that a typo didn't get through. So that's great.
Yeah. Thank you so much. I hope this was helpful. So yeah, and
To implement this solution end to end, how much time it took you, and what was one of the most challenging thing that you experienced while implementing the solution?
so yeah, so challenging was stored procedure, because this was the first time I was writing a stored procedure on never done it on like SQL, MySQL. So Azure was like definitely first time I was doing it. Tableau I'm like pretty much comfortable with, so I found I really like this feature, and I go and tell it to everyone at my, right now I'm like pitching in at my clients work also that we can do this probably. But yeah, that's one part, and it took uh 2 to 3 days to get this seamless end to end with this nice visuals. So yeah.
So for anybody who's looking to implement the solution,
Mhm.
just need to spend 2 to 3 weeks.
It
should be doable within 2 to 3
it
weeks.
depends, of course, like it depends on like the length of like how much you want to like implement. For us, it was one field that we were like trying to update. Data was small, we knew we had like all the things, we were the admins of all the things, so we had all the rights. But I think in real world it might take a little bit longer. I did add some resources also to this PowerPoint here. If someone wants to like, refer it, it's not just update. You can insert new records, you can delete the records also, as well as like you have seen, like we can update the records. So you can refer these links. And there are like some disclaimers and everything that you have to like be sure about when you do it on like, any data sources, Azure or anything else. So yeah, so it's good. It's very pretty cool. I mean, like I like Tableau more after this actually.
Cool.
All right.
Thank you so much, Prachi.
Thank
I
you.
think next up, Adam, you can cover the Tableau conference details.
Yeah, if you can just forward the slides through, that'd be great. Yep. Okay, thanks. Yeah, that was really great, Prachi. Really appreciate it. And sorry, your colleague's name again was?
Avirat Gaikwad.
Avi. Thank you, Avi. Yeah, so this conference coming up in May, really exciting. You can just forward to the next slide. I have a few slides here. I'm going to go through quickly the website of Tableau, basically. Just took a few screenshot excerpts. Whoever's controlling the slides, can you do next? Thanks. So just slightly new sign-up process. I think last year it was through Tableau. Anyway, you need to set up a free Salesforce Trailblazer ID, which will also give you access to other events. 3 days, the 9th and the 10th are the main conference days, and the 11th is add-ons like certifications and so forth. You can go forward. And then also to your screen, so the robust online presence of the conference is great, especially Devs on Stage. You can watch a lot of the sessions. I think they said there's 200 sessions or so. I would think at least 30 to 50% of it's online. I recommend going in person at least once. I went to a conference when it was in Washington, D.C. years ago, and it was great. A little bit like drinking from a fire hose, but great. Lots of connections I'm still in touch with, and just lots of information about Tableau. You can keep going. Right, keep going. I put in some, right, so welcome to Salesforce. You'll get an email about it. Give back. They have a way to do good. Devs on Stage is great. Parties. So right, the 9th and 10th of the, no, you can go ahead. 9th and 10th of the online days, and the 11th is also in person, I think add-ons. Tableau certification, which we'll talk about in a second. The workshops, which we'll also talk about in a second for people who are going to join online. And pro tip, they say arrive early, which is a good idea. I agree, especially with the weather. You never know with these storms we've been having everywhere, especially the Midwest. We're near where it is. I guess it's out west. I guess May 12th. Right, head home on the 12th to take full advantage. Good idea. Keep going. Thanks. Next. Right. So we had our own Tableau user group presentation about certifications. If you're curious to learn more, and then there are also links to Tableau's information about certifications. So they've changed over the years. You can keep going. So that we'll have the YouTube link available later. Also, again, if you're attending remotely and you have any Tableau questions, you won't be able to join the Tableau doctor sessions. So you can have our own Fairfield County, Connecticut Tableau user group doctor sessions. You know, how do I do something? Is this taking too long? I wish I could do something design-wise or technical-wise. And Kathy and I are volunteering our time to help anyone from the community. My schedule link is there, and Kathy's email. You can also contact me on LinkedIn. I think my email is also available too. That schedule link is just for 9 to 5, but I'm also available some evenings because I think my calendar's kind of booked for the next week and a half, but I can fit you in sooner if needed. Next, funny here. Right, this thing I found on the Tableau community forums isn't working, or YouTube isn't working on my data, so happy to help you try to troubleshoot those things because we've been there. Keep going. Right. Oh, right. So this was pre-ChatGPT. Tableau, if you have to justify to a manager or your boss's boss why you're going, Tableau actually has a set up email form where you can just fill in what your airfare is, what the total is, and your name, and that has a justification. So no, this was not generated by that little air person or ChatGPT. It was they've had it for years and they've added to it. So useful. You can find that on the site as well. Keep going, please. Right, pricing, training, add-on, certification. I think some of the certifications range from $100 to $300. Our video, I'll have more about that and the links. And then also, right, so it could be free if you want to go online, which is great also because I know some nonprofits, they don't have Tableau budgets. They don't have, travel budgets, let alone Tableau conference budgets. So it's really good that Tableau gives so much content online. Okay. Next. And right, tons of Q&A. Keep going. I think I have one more little. Right. Right, and this is very important. Am I going to cover this, or is this you, Kathy, or Mohnish?
I can cover it. So the big announcement that's since today, I think this is our last time that going to host this event on Zoom. So for those people who have registered using /event, you already noticed it's kind of a journey that you got into the Zoom link. Like you need to first get the /event page, get that Zoom registered, and then after that there is a Salesforce account that you also need to register again to get the Zoom link. So the Tableau user group team has made a decision that we're going to migrate all our Tableau user groups like Atlanta, Houston, Fairfield County, including us, to Bevy. So the advantage of the Bevy account is once we create the Bevy account, you will see all the past event current event, including the recording. Previously, we have to send the recording to you once it's ready. Now you can just go to our accounts page and you will see the account like recorded for the past events that hosted on Bevy. So how you can move from the Splash to Bevy is you will need to first create your Bevy account. So go to this link. It will direct you to a page. And you just fill in your name, your title, your email, password, and then you can upload your profile. You can leave as blank and you sign up. Once you sign up, you need to subscribe to our group. Previously, like if you want to subscribe the Splash event page, you had a mailing list. Similar like that, you would also need to join our Fairfield County group. You can go to that link and then click join us. We'll send this deck, including the link to you, so you don't need to worry about to get it to screenshot something like that. So after you create your account, click join us, and then from there you will just automatically see all the upcoming events. So if we're going to host an event and we create an event page, you will automatically get that notification from Bevy once you click join us. And you will see all the past event has already migrated from the Splash. However, because we don't have the recording attached to the actual event, if you want to watch or maybe revisit some of the event, you need to go to the YouTube channel. And the way that you can search for the Fairfield County, you can tap in like Tableau Fairfield County user group. And from here, you will see the topics that was like embedded analytics that we were covering. And we also cover like new features. And also like one time we cover like certification, UI, UX design. So if you want to revisit some of the great content that we covered previously, you can click one of the recordings and watch it.
And the great thing is it's automatically chaptered, so you can skip to certain pieces that you want.
Yep. Okay, so that's it. Next, Mohnish.
Thank you, Kathy. Okay, so before we end our session today, we're gonna have a trivia session, and that's the Kahoot quiz. I'm just gonna start it. Just give me one moment.
Meanwhile, get out your phones. Scan the QR code, right?
Yes.
Or is it a link? I forget which.
I'm gonna give a game code. Just give me one moment.
Okay. I think we're all gonna play, but only people who are not on the leadership team can win prizes, right?
That's right, Adam.
I'm gonna
People
share
are
the
virtual.
screen.
Tableau can send swag out, right?
Okay, so can you see the screen? Okay, so the game pin is 9379301. I can see Pranita has joined. Okay. You don't have internet? You can join on the Yukon guest if you go on your Wi-Fi. We have 6 members right now. And again, we are waiting for you. I think there are a couple of them who are online who haven't joined yet. Let me know if you have any issues in joining it. I can see there is a question in chat. Okay, that's just Adam.
Yeah, that's just me posting to everybody to make it even easier.
Okay, I can see Avi. Again, were you able to join? Yeah, take your time. Till the time Niken is trying to join, I'm just gonna tell you the rules of the game. We are gonna have 5 questions. For each question, you will get 30 seconds. And each question has the same number of marks. And if you heard our guest speakers and Adam, who gave us the information about the write back functionality and the Tableau conference, you will win it easily because there are a couple of the questions which are from the presentation. So I think so. Yes. That is those numbers automatically Kahoot assigns it. So is there anyone who is not able to join? Because I'm just gonna start now. I can see Niken has joined. So let me just start the game now. Okay, so this is the first Q1 trivia session. Question number 1 is, by definition, Tableau displays measures over time as what? This is a very basic question, I would say. So measures over time means when you say measures, that means like a continuous number. So for example, if I have like how much sales happened in last 6 months, so how it's gonna show it in Tableau. So you have 5 seconds to choose. I've already got 8 answers. Okay. So 7 of them got it correct. That's great. That's good. So let's move to the next one. But before that, let's see the leaderboard. Okay, so Kathy, Kathy was the quickest to answer it. Okay, let's go ahead. So the next question is, which method is utilized for Tableau write back in the use case which was explained by our guest speakers today? So you can see you have 3 options: extension, stored procedure, and creating filters. Yeah, I know. And we have just like 15 seconds left. Oh my God, everyone got it correct. That's awesome. That means everyone was hearing Prachi. Yeah, you
We
taught
all
very
love
well.
listening to you.
Okay, so Niken is just like 1 point ahead of Kathy. But yeah. So third question. It's a very general and basic question which Adam covered. When is the Tableau conference in the year 2023? That's in this year.
Oh, Vegas and Los Angeles.
See, I made it confusing. I made it both Los Angeles and
Good one.
yeah. Yeah. Oh my God. So Niken is still ahead with good points. Kathy, where did you go?
Las Vegas. Not Las Vegas, Los Angeles.
Okay. You still have chance. I think we have 2 more questions. So let's move to the next one. It's a true and false question. So Tableau write back functionality only updates data on the Tableau dashboard and not in the underlying table. It's true or false? Okay. I have 9 answers already, but you still have like 16 minutes, 16 seconds.
And then it's just
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so let's see.
One wrong.
Is that you, Avi? That's fine. Let's see what the leaderboard says. Oh my God, Niken is gonna win the Tableau swag this time. Okay, so we have the last question of our trivia, and here we go. It's a true and false question again. So parameter actions are used to create interactive and dynamic visualizations. True or false? I think this is what Prachi covered in the end, if you remember. Okay, that's good. A lot of people who got it correct, so that's great. And the podium says number 3 is Jug. It's awesome, Jug. Great job. Prachi, you're number 2. And of course, I think that's Nicaine. Oh my God. Game changed in the last question. Okay, that's great. Thank you so much for participating, everyone. I'm gonna switch back to the presentation. Which one? Okay. That's okay. That's okay. Yeah. Okay. Safe, Mohnish.
All right. So just to close out today's session, there are multiple ways that you all can connect with us on this Tableau user group community. LinkedIn group, you can click on that and then it will directly take you to the LinkedIn group where we post all the new updates, information about these events that happens every quarter. You can do that. And then I think Kathy already explained about Bevy, the new method of you dialing into these events. So you can use that. That's on the right side. You can also follow us on Twitter where we post certain key updates there as well. So please follow us on Twitter by clicking on the link, which is on the left-hand side bottom. And also, if you have any questions, you can ask any one of our Tableau user group leaders, Kathy, Monisha, Adam, Maria, or myself. And for that, you can just click on this link, Fairfield CT user group at outlook.com. It will send an email to us and we'll definitely be responding to your questions. All right, so with that, we are coming to an end. We will be doing some networking here in this room. And then I think, Adam, you will be doing a breakout room session with folks who are joining online.
Yes. Yeah, but we should leave this this page up because it's really important, especially that top right one, to join the mailing list. LinkedIn, we also co-post things and put links of interest from Tableau there. And then the Twitter feed, yeah, somehow it assigned us County CT, so at least the CT is there. But yeah, great to see everyone. We had, I think, 30 people, 20 or 30 people RSVP, so we'd hoped for more, but that's why we really need to drive the, I sound like I'm championing PBS membership drive, but yeah, we really need people to sign up for the mailing list because I think 50 or 60 out of like 1,000 people we have on the mailing list have signed up so far. So please publicize it on your social media as well. That would be great. And for anyone who wants to stay around, I'd be happy to network with you on Zoom. And for people who are in the room, feel free to use that link to schedule time if you want to have a virtual Tableau doctor if you're not going to the real Tableau doctor at the conference in May.